Hey there, Taurus. We have your reading for the month of July 2022. So let's get into it. Taurus, I will say that I just want to acknowledge this up front before we get into the reading. I have already laid the cards out, taken a look at them, gotten a feel for, what's going on for you currently, and then moving into the month of July. I want to acknowledge that I do feel that it's a bit of a heavy time for you. I feel like you have a bit of a heavy heart. You have some things weighing on your mind right now. I want to acknowledge that because I think that is important to acknowledge as we walk into this. And I believe that what this reading could potentially do for you is help to just start to kind of put the pieces together of whatever is weighing on you, kind of start to make sense of it. Again, I am not, a psychiatrist or a psychologist. I am not psychoanalyzing you or your situation. This is simply a tarot card reading, and these are just kind of some themes and ideas that are coming up in the cards. That's really how I like to describe tarot, is just really different themes and archetypes that help us, kind of sort out things in our mind and tap into our subconscious in a way that we don't always get to tap into it in our every, day-to-day life when we're kind of just going through things and on autopilot and not really taking the time to process. So I hope that this just gives you a little bit of a break and a reprieve to maybe just kind of ponder some things, think about some things. Again, as I pull these cards up, it might illuminate some things for you and help you kind of maybe make peace with some things. I would love that for you. Overall, I think that whatever has happened is, for lack of a better phrase, fine and totally okay. But I think that you have a bit of worry around if it is or not. And so let's get into that. I pulled a card that's at the top of the reading here, and I kind of just pull cards and place them intuitively. There's really no rhyme or reason to the way that I do things when I pull cards for this. Again, I just kind of follow what I'm feeling called to do. And we have at the top here the Ace of Swords reverse, which immediately told me that I think you have made a decision recently that you are now wondering if you made the wrong decision. And in fact, I think you might actually just think you made the wrong decision. And I want to get into that first. I want to validate that feeling, because I could very easily say to you, there are no wrong decisions and da-da-da-da-da. But I get it. It's feeling very real. You have the King of Discs over here. You have the King of Discs over here. And it's reversed. This is kind of telling me that this is a new feeling for you. I think you've kind of stepped into this phase of your life where you're not as assured. And you don't like this feeling, right? Taurus, I'm a Virgo. We are both earth energy. We like to feel stable, secure. We like to be like, we got it figured out. We know what's going on. And so I think just the idea that maybe you didn't make the right move is rattling you a bit. So let's kind of see what these cards have to say. We have the second row here. So again, I just kind of intuitively put cards down. We have the second row and they're all reversed. So what this is telling me is life has almost kind of flipped you on your head a bit. I think maybe this decision or this choice that you made has kind of done this, where you now feel like, oh my gosh, what have I done? Everything in my life is absolutely backwards now, or upside down, or not the way that I want it to be, right? So we have the World here, and it's reversed. So I quite literally take this one as everything that you thought you had figured out, in control of, you knew how you wanted to do things. You have now completely kind of reversed that, and it's just a very uncomfortable feeling. So I want to acknowledge that again, first off. To me, these are all saying just these are new feelings, new feelings, new feelings. We have the Queen of Cups here. Again, I think you've worked very hard to get to this place where you feel solid and you feel good and you feel kind of like you figured it all out. I think you've really worked hard to create a life of certainty. And now you're kind of in this shadow side that none of us can avoid, right? Of maybe I don't have it all figured out, because the truth is none of us have it figured out. And we never will, right? I'm a Virgo though. Again, I get it. I know we're different signs, but I feel like we're kind of similar in this. We want to know the right answer. Again, I think this Queen of Cups, it's sometimes this false sense, and again, especially because it's reversed, I think it's kind of this false sense of security in oneself. And I mean that, of course we can be very self-assured, but there's just certain things that happen in life, or even just decisions that we make, that sometimes we don't have that same confidence, right? And that's how we grow. We have the Prince of Discs here. I think that you're so used to, again, doing whatever it takes to make things right, to be validated, to get the gold star. Again, I can relate to you a lot on this level as well. A lot of perfectionism here, right? And a lot of kind of, I'm going to just say it, blind loyalty sometimes. Sometimes there's a loyalty to things and people and situations just because you are such a dedicated person, such a hardworking person. And now I think because, again, whatever has happened, you're like, what was that all for? Why was I trying so hard? Or did any of that even matter? I think your cages are really being rattled here. I think with the Queen of Cups reversed, the Prince of Discs reversed, the World reversed, like these are all cards of like everything that I kind of thought about myself and my hardworkingness, that's not a word, my, work ethic and my dedication and my loyalty and my street smarts and my book smarts. And like, I thought I had it all down pat. So the fact that I have now screwed it up, quote unquote, you haven't, but that's kind of what it's feeling like, right? Or that's what I'm gathering. That is what I'm gathering. Again, take what resonates in this and leave the rest. We also have the Hanged Man. I think you now, and this is reversed again, I think you're kind of feeling like this decision is permanent. And I kind of want you, as I'm going through and talking about these different things, so like the Queen of Cups reverse, this idea of, I've worked so hard to get here in my life and now I've screwed it up, and my world was a certain way and now it's not. And, Prince of Discs reversed, kind of this like, what was all this hard work for? The Hanged Man reversed, I'm here forever, I'm stuck, this decision is permanent. I would invite you to actually ask yourself if those things are true, or if there's alternatives to those. I want to show you the next card in the next row because I think it goes along exactly with that. Two of Discs. Two of Discs is all about balance. And I'm wondering, right? And if you look at this, it's like, actually, if you look at this card, it's twins that are mirroring each other and they're like juggling these two discs. And they're also on a tightrope. They're on a very, very thin tightrope, and they're actually between like two cliffs. So I want to talk about the delicateness of just life, and moment to moment, things can be going really well and things can be going not so well. And I'm wondering if this, whatever has happened, is actually an invitation for you to give yourself some grace, for you to open up to the idea that life is an ebb and flow. It's a give and take. It is delicate. Sometimes you feel like you're walking on a tightrope, right? And you might lose your balance sometimes. And that is okay. That's actually all about the practice of living. the practice of living, right? So like when you see like the aerialists and the people that actually walk on the tightrope, right? If you've seen it on TikTok or YouTube or anything, they're hooked in, and sometimes they're not. But if they're not hooked in, it's because they've practiced so many times to hook in. And I kind of know Taurus because and by the way, I say Taurus kind of weird. Like people always make fun of me with that. I laughed at myself as I said that. I have a feeling that you're clipped in. And I would actually ask you to think about that. How have I secured myself that even if I did make the wrong decision, quote unquote, again, I don't know if that's actually the case or even possible here, because you're just practicing, right? You're just practicing life. You're just figuring life out. But if I did make the wrong decision, what have I done so that I'm still okay? I still have a safety net. I'm still clipped in. This isn't the end, right? This isn't the hangman reverse. It's not over forever. It's not even close to that. What is this teaching me? What is this teaching me about acceptance, surrender, going with the flow of life? Actually, what are the gifts in this decision? This is a totally different decision than I typically make. Maybe I needed this balance in my life, right? I'm practicing. Remember that. I think that's a really big thing here about balance. Balance is always a practice. Nobody's perfect with balance. That's one of the biggest things that I feel like I always talk about with clients is how they are practicing balance, how they are constantly figuring out this idea of balance in their personal life. So what does that look like for you? And maybe how has the situation or decision that you've made come into play here? And what does it really say about you? Does it say anything? What is it teaching you? I think this month of July is where you get to find, here's the star, you get to find the message in the gift, in the reason, in whatever has happened. Again, I'm really getting a vibe that this is something that you have actually consciously decided. So I want to be clear. I don't think that this is something that is per se happened to you out of your control. I'm not hearing that at all. So if this is something that, I'm not speaking to, again, something that was not your choice. I'm talking about leaving a job, leaving a relationship, not taking a job, not going after that certification, not going after that degree. I'm kind of getting that vibe. Not investing in that thing, whatever, right? Whatever that is, I'm wondering if in July you can actually, instead of just going, oh my gosh, I've turned my world upside down. What have I done? I've never felt like this before. Queen of Cups, what's going on? Prince of Discs. I'm regretting everything I've done up to this point. Was that all wasted? I'm curious if you can take some time to actually figure out why this is. Why did you choose it, actually, is really what I want to say, because you did choose it. So what are you calling in for your life? Are you calling in a person that maybe trusts more, makes more risks, right? Back to this Two of Discs. They're on a tightrope in between two cliffs. Like there's an element of risk and a little bit of scariness, a lot of scariness, let's be real. But, oh my gosh, like if I could get myself to go over a tightrope, if I could actually get myself to do it, I think that'd be my greatest accomplishment of my life, right? But it's terrifying. So can we go back and honor? You have the King of Discs reversed. Again, I've shown you this already in the Ace of Swords reversed. Can we go and actually flip these cards upward for you? And this month you start to realize, no, I made this decision intentionally. I made this decision intentionally. Why did you make this decision? I think you did make it intentionally, and I think it was a beautifully empowered decision, but can you allow yourself to receive that and honor that, even if it's maybe a decision that you wouldn't typically make? Seven of Cups reversed, I think you're just thinking of all the things you've done wrong, or all the other ways that this could have gone, or maybe here's the best way to put it, what you're missing out on because you didn't make the other decision. That's not helpful. And again, I would really encourage you to go back to, instead of focusing on everything that could have happened if you did the other thing, why did I do this? And what are now the openings because I've done this thing? Okay, Prince of Cups, our last card that we have to show you. Prince of Cups, I think this is really talking about you walking on a new path and being confident and also knowing, right, that you're on a new path. There's like little octopus arms coming up in the water. There's an element of the unknown and a little bit of like freakiness and scariness, right? But again, I think you're someone, Taurus, that you're very grounded, you're very responsible. You like to always make sure you're doing the right thing, again, quote unquote, for yourself. You've worked so hard. And I believe, again, that you have the safety net. You've clipped yourself in. You've actually thought about this decision a lot longer than you're giving yourself credit for. Can you know as you walk down this new journey in July that you've chosen this path? This path was actually intentional. I think you're acting like you've just wound it up on this path. You're lost. You're not. You made this choice in all of your knowledge, right? King of Discs. Any king figure always represents so much wisdom, so much knowledge that has come from practice, that has come from living out experiences. You didn't make this decision hastily. It's just a different kind of decision for you. So as you walk along this path in July, I would really encourage you to just remind yourself that like this was a chosen path and it just looks different. Also, if it's scary, it's okay. That's totally okay. You're clipped in, you have your safety net. And again, instead of Seven of Cups, instead of trying to think of all the ways you've went wrong, can you start to look at the different perspectives of what can be created from this different decision? Because again, I think the person that made this decision is a person that wants to start walking in a different direction intentionally. I think you're a very intentional person. So what was that intention and what are the possibilities? All right, Taurus, that's what I have for you this month. Go do your thing. Much love to you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you later.